Hello and welcome old and new to Auspol Explained, where knowledge of Australian politics is to be gained. I'm David, and in this episode we will be talking about something everyone in South Australia should know. How does voting in a state election work? Quick disclaimer, this isn't at all about who to vote for, that's entirely up for you to decide. This episode is about how to actually fill in a ballot. So if you are a first-time voter or if you know someone who is a first-time voter, this will be a really helpful resource for you. All the information is taken from the South Australian Electoral Commission, so if you have any questions that aren't answered in this video, you should go to their website, ecsa.sa.gov.au. So that's like the initials of Electoral Commission South Australia .sa, which also stands for southaustralia.gov.au. You can use their website to find out which electoral district you'll be voting in and where to find a polling booth, and whether or not it is rated for wheelchair accessibility. Or you can call them on 1300 655 232. Elections in South Australia have fixed 4-year terms, so they'll be on the third Saturday in March every 4 years, unless very specific circumstances happen, like if that date is the day after Good Friday, because Easter changes every year. One time it was on my birthday. If it's the same month as a federal election of the House of Representatives, or if conducting the election would be impacted by a state disaster. But you know, those are like super rare and not going to happen often. In case of a state disaster, the governor can reschedule to a new date, but it has to be on a Saturday no more than 21 days after the original date, had half the state not been destroyed by a meteor in the middle of an Easter celebration. So like, if that happens, grab a broom and start cleaning up, because people need to vote. The Constitution demands it. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's actually get down to what you physically need to know for filling in a ballot. Step 1 of voting is naturally be enrolled to vote. Go do that if you haven't already. Step 2, do the actual voting. There will be 2 ballots. One is for the House of Assembly, which is the green one, and one is for the Legislative Council, which is white. The Legislative Council ballot is bigger, it's quite long and horizontal. The House of Assembly ballot will have candidates listed in a random order. There will be one per party, and some might be independents. To vote, fill them out, 1, 2, 3, etc., in whatever way is most preferred to you, with 1 being your favourite, and however many boxes down the line being your least favourite. South Australia has preferential voting, like the rest of Australia. That means if no one in an electorate gets more than 50% of the first preference votes, then your second and third, etc. preferences are counted until there is a majority winner. Yay! So often people win due to a mix of both first and second preferences. The House of Assembly currently has 47 seats, but you're only able to vote for one of them, which represents your electoral division, which is a group of similar population size in your area. Voting for the Legislative Council has a bit more to it, but don't worry, it's still pretty simple. It comes with 2 options, above or below the line. You must pick one of these. Now, it's not exactly like the Senate, which is what you're probably thinking of as a federal comparison. Similar, but there's some differences. So there's a red horizontal line that divides the parties on top and a downwards list of candidates on the bottom. The Legislative Council has 8-year terms, but has a half election. So every 4 years, one half goes up to election and then the other in 4 years' time. There are currently 22 seats in total, which means that you can vote for 11 people. They represent the whole state. So the Legislative Council ballot is the same no matter where you are, and therefore also really big. If you vote above the line, there is a system called optional preferential voting. That means you may write in a box 1, and that is it. If you want. You can put down a 2 or 3 and so forth if you like. You can fill out every box or just some of the boxes, but 1 please. You're basically ranking the parties as a whole. You're like, I like party A the most, and party B second, and that could be it. You could be like, I don't like any other party except for these two. Your preferences can't go anywhere that you don't put them. Some people get worried about, what parties are making preference deals, but don't worry. If you only list certain people or parties, that's it. That's all your vote goes to. Voting below the line requires you to fill in at least a few more boxes, by which I mean a minimum of 12. You can fill out more of it, you can fill out all of it if you like, but it needs to be at least 12. Voting below the line is saying, I like person A, person C, but not B. I like person D, but I like E better, so I'm going to put them there. Basically, more control, however you want to fill it out, so long as there is at least 12 numbers. So you can choose to be like, I vote for just one person from this party, or I vote for all the people in this party except for one. There isn't a right or wrong option. It is entirely up to you how you would like to express your opinion. And because 11 people are getting elected across the whole state, parties can put forward multiple candidates, and you could potentially vote for all of them and all of them be elected. So that, again, is 1 or more above the line or 12 or more below the line. The winners are determined by achieving a quota, which they calculate based off how many votes there are and how many seats are going to be filled. So it's not just the most popular person, it's whoever reaches a certain threshold of popularity. Because people have the option of not providing preferences by voting above the line, it is possible that in some cases there just aren't enough preferences to determine all the seats based off quotas. The leftover seats are then filled by the most popular people or person who didn't get a quota. If you put one above the line on a party you like and it doesn't win, then you have no preferences to go to any other party. Depending on your intention, this could be a good or a bad thing. It's entirely up to you whether you want to put lots of preferences and keep your ballot in the count for a long time, or if you are set and determined to only vote for a specific party or group of people. And there you have it. I hope this has helped. If it has, please share, comment some nice things, look at all the different policies of all the different political parties, form your own opinions, and enjoy participating in democracy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.